All right, hello YouTube. So I just got a new deck, so I'm going to be reading some from that today. I've also got my little goddess deck. Today we're doing long readings, by the way, so it's going to be 3 piles, like 8 cards, possibly even up to like 12 or 15. Spirit's being very verbose with me today. I do appreciate it. So that's what we're gonna do. At least that's the plan. We'll see how it actually turns out. So that deck is all ready for you guys. So as I'm shuffling, let's tune in to our guides and everything, okay? And you know, maybe if shuffling the cards is something you're attached to as a process, please continue watching. If not, I will have timestamps for you guys in the description, so you can go ahead and get to your pile selection and to your reading then. But yeah, how's your guys' Christmas been? Mine break went pretty well. My new year has been fruitful, successful so far. So I hope the same is true for all of you guys watching this. In the meantime, I've been reading some tarot, been doing some self-care things, and just brushing up those few little things that I needed to get in order for a new year and a new me. I'm sure you all understand how that goes. I know it's such a horrible cliche, new year, new me, but such is life, is it not? A compilation of cliches we choose to take as banal, as basic, or as beautiful. Isn't that always it? Look, we're getting messages before I even pull the cards out. Okay, we're gonna get our goddess deck in on this too. The goddesses are saying, I wanna talk, I wanna talk. Okay, come on out. There we go. Oopsie. Okay. What's really interesting, okay, I never try to do this. She always ends up on bottom. Like Aditi, just every time. And like, it's funny because when this deck was sealed, it was in alphabetical order. And, you know, she's an A goddess. She's actually the first one in the deck. So, but every time, somehow she ends up on bottom. I simply do not understand. But hey, I'm not complaining. It's just one of those interesting, and there she is again. It's just one of those interesting things that you notice when you formed a relationship with your tarot cards. Yes. All right. Apologies if I'm a little goofy. I had my tea this morning, so I'm feeling good. Okay, so for our 3 piles, you've got Artemis for pile 1, Pele for pile 2, and Arianrhod. That's rough. Arianrhod. That's pretty close. Okay, I'm gonna say it, Arianrhod. Goddess of fertility for pile 3. And then for each of these, let's get, can't slip it under, okay. 2 goddess cards apiece. Slip that back. So I've loved reading with this goddess deck because it really helps me tune in to which goddess energy, oh, this one wants 3, and it shall have 3. But does this one want 3 too? Everybody gets 3 now? Okay. Anyway, I've loved reading with this deck because it really does give me a better idea about like what, and like independence, determination, fertility. Obviously they're a little more like oracle cards in how they read and react in a reading, but, and my sister-in-law does not like oracle cards. So as one of my tarot mentors, I was kind of ushered away very quickly from them. But tough's tough. I bought it for her for Christmas, the same goddess deck, and I haven't gotten any word back about results, so I'll see. Maybe I'll text her about that. But in any case. Quite ironic, because she's actually been lusting after this Anima Mundi deck for quite some time, and we didn't even know. And what's even funnier to me, ooh, these came out in the last reading. What's even funnier to me is part of it is totally about the gold foil edges, which are awesome, and like, but they're totally just an aesthetics thing. I mean, part of it is in tarot cards, but most of it, I would say, ooh, okay, it's gonna, 6 cards, dang, okay. We're getting a lot of cards from the Rider-Waite for these piles. At least for these two. We're getting 6 cards, so that's 12 cards total for you guys today. This is gonna be interesting. I can tell you that already. Isn't it always? That's what I always say. Interesting. Oh, that's interesting. It's a very easy, like, first reaction. And that one gets an extra. Okay. So we've got all our decks dealt out. I'm just gonna clear my station here a little bit. It's getting kind of crowded. Okay. Books over here in case I have to look anybody up. And there we go. So these are our piles. 1, 2, and 3. Let me get those on camera for you. We got pile 1 again. That's Artemis with Independence. We've got pile number 2, Pele with Determination. And pile 3, Arianrhod with Fertility. I think I got it that time. That's pretty good. Okay. So we're gonna put our other 2 piles up here in the meantime while we read for pile 1. Starting with Artemis. Always a lovely place to start. I always loved Artemis, like as a goddess, and well, everyone's in love with Artemis. But anyway. Interesting energies to start. So we've got the Hermit, the High Priestess, the 9 of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles. Justice, I don't read reversals from this deck. Yeah, that's not meant to be upside down. Okay, good. And the 4, oh, that's funny. That's funny, actually. This card was not meant to be reversed, and we need a 4 of Pentacles. Okay, so just to start off the bat, your masculine and your feminine sides are both highly intelligent. You have like the ability to create, you're in this 9 of Pentacles energy, like just for yourself, Garden of Eden, but you could make a 10 of Pentacles energy if you're willing to change your perspective about balance. So these are both like the inactive versions of other, like the Hermit is like the opposite of the Magician in a way, because the Hermit is the passive masculine versus the Magician is the active masculine. And that same duality exists between the High Priestess and the Magician. High Priestess being feminine passive and the Magician being masculine active. And then the evolved form of the High Priestess, the Empress, being feminine active as well. So that balances those. So that's really, like, if there were a missing card here, I think Artemis is a great fill-in on this reading. Oh, see, and 4 of Pentacles again. Yeah, but these are all upside down. What the heck? Okay. I'm going to leave this one upside down, but I'm going to, yeah, there we go. Interesting. And then we've got some goddesses for you. Just going to slip this under. Choo, choo, choo. This is Aphrodite with Passion, by the way. You have been keeping yourself in a little bubble, my friend, because you're hurt. You're very deeply wounded. Someone very close to you hurt you. And it takes, oh wow, there's a lot coming through here. So the reason why you shut yourself off into this Hermit and High Priestess energy, also it's interesting to me that we have both of these characters in the reading. So this is both of your sides of yourself have gone down this road. Both your more masculine and your more feminine sides have been entrenched in this world, and they're both coming through in this reading. So that to me shows me that there is a balance within you between masculine and feminine. The Justice card coming out in reverse, in addition to this double Four of Pentacles, is telling me that you are not taking action in a worldly way to actualize yourself, to change who you are or who you want to be. You're not taking your independence. Artemis has given you now have the tools firmly in your grasp to take your independence. Also, I'm seeing that with Justice, like they've got their hands full with the sword and the scale here. But when they were upside down, they couldn't do anything. What I mean is, before you change your perspective, or until you change your perspective, this Ten of Pentacles will never actualize. And you can stay... So I think Spirit is trying to tell you, you have conflicting desires, especially with Inanna and Bast right here. I'm getting the message that you have conflicting desires, and it's really about love. Like, you really want to love somebody bad. With Three of Swords, typically that's the heart imagery, and we've got Aphrodite right here. So I feel like Aphrodite is actually partially blessing you with this strength to kind of push you across this barrier. Also, this is not like a typical, like I just let the cards fall where they may. So I'm going to interpret the orientation just as intuitively as I'm interpreting the cards here. With Bast over on this side and Inanna over here, I'm seeing that you actually would gain a lot of pleasure from being in this Ten of Pentacles energy, that it would bring a sense of balance, where you believe that your true desire is humble for the Nine of Pentacles. It's actually not. It's actually the Ten of Pentacles. And you actually deserve it, by the way. You actually deserve it. Here's another thing I just noticed. We've got nines over here, Hermit, but then we go over to 10 and 11. So we're moving up, and 8 with Strength is here to remind you. I think Aphrodite also is like this passion that you have, and that's part of the Empress I was mentioning earlier, is living your life based on passion and knowing that you have the capability, the strength, the wherewithal to make it through whatever. So you just go by how your emotions are driving you in the most enlightened way. I think that's beautiful. I think that's what this reading is trying to show you also, is you have this great strength. You've used it in this way. You haven't used it in this Ten of Pentacles way, because your perspective about what this is, someone hurt you in this abundant scenario, or there was some pain that happened because of that. So your desire has changed to this, but your true pleasure lies over here. And Aphrodite has given you this bridge of passion so that you don't have to feel like this little raccoon, you're just stealing away a little piece and a little piece and a little piece in life, okay? You actually deserve your whole proper slice, okay? Nine of Pentacles tells me that to a degree you understand this, but 10 of Pentacles combined with 4 of Pentacles is telling me, oh, excuse me, you don't really understand how beautiful this could be, how big this could be, or how capable you are. That's a lot, I know. But Strength, 3 of Swords, you got hurt, okay? But you've transmuted that pain into your strength. That's another part here I'm getting. This infinity is the symbol of the magician, and the primary power of the magician is that power of mental transmutation. You've taken this pain and turned it into strength, turned it into growth internally, but you haven't shared it with the world either, okay? So you're kind of living in a Garden of Eden just by yourself. I think Spirit is trying to tell you, embrace your independence, express all that you've learned and that strength you've built up by yourself. People will understand your pain and relate to you, and you'll be able to build something rich, build something beautiful, as more of a community effort than you're used to. But it's also going to be a more balanced community than you're used to. The whole paradigm I'm seeing is changing. Maybe that's why Justice is flipped, is because your idea of balance in this new world is what needs to change. Your idea of what balance is or could be needs to change in order for you to embrace your independence and truly understanding your passions also is going to take you really far. Understanding your passions is going to take you across this bridge. So this could be, I'm very strongly feeling like this is a creative endeavor that you haven't put effort or time into actualizing. You know you can do it. You've thought about doing it a million ways. You've planned it perfectly. Okay, now do. There are two sides to every action, and part of it is the intention and thoughtful planning and everything, and the other part is just doing it. And so we can keep thinking and thinking about like, oh, do I want to do this? Do I want to do more of this or that? And that's good. Like, to a degree, it's good to consider your options. But when you're stuck in analysis paralysis, break yourself out, okay? That's what you need to change. And you're still identifying with this 3 of Swords energy instead of identifying with this 8, the strength. So I find that interesting because it's obvious that you've transmuted this through the Hermit and the High Priestess and the Garden of Eden, okay? That is very clear to me that inside, like, you have worked out all your kinks, okay? Please no rude comments. You've worked out all your kinks, and the 10 of Pentacles, Justice, and the 4 of Pentacles, I think is showing you, like, 4 of Pentacles usually gives me a different message than this, but I think it's saying, like, this is possible. You're the only thing that needs to change. Your perspective on what is possible might even need to change. Wow. So that's a lot. Your life is about to change in a really big way if you want it to, if you let it. If you plant the seeds, you'll get the tree, you know. You gotta water it every day, you gotta feed it, but that's how it works. And you've been able to transmute this 3 of Swords into this Beetle of Strength. I don't think you even fully realize the power it takes to do that. And Artemis is really here to tell you, embrace that power, embrace your own individual power to get you across this gap, and then that's going to bring you into a sense of community. So maybe you're feeling like, oh, I can't do this without someone else. Actually, you can, and doing it by yourself is going to bring in the most balanced person to be with you, because you do want to be with someone. You want to be with someone so bad. These are all about love. To me, I'm getting this. But, I mean, pleasure, desire, passion, and the goddesses themselves are of love. Let's give you more on Bast, actually. Bast and Inanna. So Bast, you may be in need of some serious self-care, and the goddess Bast is with you. As the ruler of sex, magic, and pleasure, she helps you see and reignite all those aspects in your life. Time to indulge. So you're keeping yourself from some pleasurable thing, some pleasurable outlet, because you're not fully in touch with your own, like, sexuality or the material pleasures of the world. You enjoy those things, but you've kept yourself, like, you see how Inanna is kind of keeping her hand on her heart. She's kind of holding back. I'm very much getting this feeling. She is holding back. And you're holding yourself back, pile 1, okay? You are holding yourself back with your thoughts, with your perspective on what it means to be whole, frankly. What it means to be a whole person, independent. It's not as big of a thing as you, like, you are an overthinker, I'm an overthinker, so hello. But I recognize you, I see you. These cards are highly overthinking, and you've still managed to get to a 9 of Pentacles feeling. Embrace your passion, and the world is gonna change, like, at your fingertips. Okay, and then Inanna is actually the Queen of Heaven. Inanna embraces all those who seek her care. Accept her wisdom and gifts to find what your heart truly longs for. Now is the time to give in to your desires. Accept what's truly yours, and release what isn't. So maybe you tried to make something work out with someone also, and that's where this 3 of Swords really comes from, is you really wanted to make something work with someone else. and you felt that together, even if you couldn't be whole on your own, like you're fucking close, you're really close on your own, pardon my French. I need some tea. Okay, you're really close on your own, but having that other person did give you this feeling of balance. And now that they're gone, you feel this Three of Swords, you feel imbalance. But changing your perspective opens this up. I think Inanna is also telling you, because the Hermit and the High Priestess are somewhat more subconscious elements than they are conscious elements. This is maybe calling on you to, Hermit especially, I'm feeling, if you're in this strength energy now where you recognize what you've been able to do, recognize it a little more consciously. Start on that journey of self-discovery and because that's the first step to self-actualization. You have to know who you are before you know what you want to be. So maybe that's where you've been stuck in this creative puzzle, is going, well, who do I really want to be? And to your own self, you've been able to figure it out and be happy in your own self. But in terms of going out into the world, there's still a little change in perspective. And it's about enjoying life. You love life. And you love these material things. And there's nothing wrong with that. But someone made you feel like it was wrong to enjoy material things at some point. Which is like a lack mindset, you know? I think I've said plenty on this pile. But you guys have the world at your fingertips. And it is just ready for you to take the initiative mentally. First, mentally take the initiative, okay? Then act. Boom. Make it happen. You know, maybe you're a content creator, you know, do your thing. Maybe you're a musician. You should be practicing. Or studying, or whatever it is. So yeah, you've got a very bright future ahead of you if you will take it. And Artemis is here to help you take it as well. So is Inanna. But listen to what they have to say. Oh my God, listen to them. They're screaming at you. Okay. That was a little dramatic, but that's all I have for you, pile one. Thank you guys for sticking around, and I'll see you in the next reading. All right, now we have pile two with Determination from Pele. All right, I'm gonna move this pile over here for now. A good start to any reading is the Sun. Ooh, ooh, oh, oh. I don't read reversals. Interesting. Yeah, well, I'll just make a lot of noises and then you guys can figure it out from there, right? Ooh, okay. So, where to begin? Well, the Sun was a great start. I think the Sun is showing up here as a sort of a like reminder that you have two sides to yourself, is what I'm saying. You got two sides. One of them, your inner child, like firmly believes and knows that like this greatness, maybe it's a personal enlightenment, but this, with the Sun, I'm feeling just a sense of personal enjoyment in the world. This is really possible, but you're in this Nine of Swords energy. You've been mourning something, and I think you're really in a feeling of self-doubt, and you're not letting yourself be quite as free as you could be. You're worried that you're gonna do something bad, so you're not doing anything. That's not a good attitude. You have an expressive feminine side that's not coming out so much, or it's coming out too much, and you should balance it a little more. It's not coming out enough. That's what the Empress is here to say. Interesting. So I ran through that really quick because it's kind of dense, but there's a lot to chew on here, especially in the Devil, with what I'm seeing combined with the Nine of Swords. You're torturing yourself. Like, this sun is like just shining always, but you're not like free to see it in a way. You're not freeing yourself. You're not opening your eyes. to the sun. Maybe it feels like a little too bright right now or something. Maybe it just feels like too much, but I think you guys could really, you could really level up. You could really evolve if you focus on expressing this feminine side of yourself, okay? And restoring, I'm getting the feeling, restoring a sense of balance. This card is really representative of balance and of non-duality, union in self. So in this case, Archangel Michael is representative of the superconscious mind, with one foot in the water and one foot out of the water, which is subconscious and conscious, or otherworldly and worldly. Same thing with the 2 cups. So it's all about balance in the self. That balance in the self is going to bring you a lot more power than you might expect. I'm getting the feeling. Like, this Empress card is kind of coming as a shock to you. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. That's good. That is good that this is coming as a shock to you. Because this is your fresh start, is the Empress. You've planted a lot of seeds, more than you realize. And they're coming to fruition, or they're about to come to fruition. And you need to be on the lookout for those things. Keep what's new every day, or what new ideas am I having? Because your mind is actually very free. You're actually very close to this Empress, which will be in the sun. I'm getting that feeling, like this kind of loops around. But yeah, until you open your eyes or open your mind, you see how those chains are loose, okay? They could totally lift it off their head, but they're not. That's another thing. And also the devil's symbol here with power and division, right? And that's because his power is in division. Anyway, dividing us from our true will and intent versus our action, and making us feel that separation, when really there's a unity. And that Archangel Michael reminds us of that essential unity of being. It's an interesting resolution that I haven't seen a lot from the devil down to temperance, but it sort of makes sense. This is giving me 2 steps forward, 1 step back energy. That you kind of were in a 10 of Wands, you took off more than you could chew. You've been highly determined throughout this whole process, and that's the only reason you've gotten this far, is because of your determination to do the work and everything. But you've hit a wall, and that wall is your own self and self-expression. You're coming up against a higher understanding of yourself. You're not sure how that fits into your typical expression of who you are. Maybe this is a lot more power than you're used to wielding, honestly. These goddesses, Demeter, Saraswati, and Chalchiutlikuwe, are all here to help you, but especially Saraswati and Chalchiutlikuwe. Chalchiutlikuwe to help you in the Empress energy, and Saraswati for temperance. Now, this Queen of Wands is interesting. She does have a ruling energy, and is good at making things happen and everything, but really I see this more as a self-actualizing. And maybe you've planted seeds in the past that haven't come to fruition, but Demeter is with you now. And also, when our seeds that we plant, they don't come to harvest, but we watered them, but we gave them food, but we did everything we could. And at the end of the day, that's all we can do, is do everything we can in our power. And then everything that's outside of our power, that's what the spiritual domain is all about, is trying our best to be in alignment with these otherworldly powers, so that our worldly actions don't end up in conflict. Sorry, this is out of frame. So our worldly actions don't end up in conflict. So they end up in alignment, so that everything builds and builds. In sort of a perpetual motion type of way. Now these cards are interesting. 6 of Pentacles tells me you're going to achieve this union, and 8 of Pentacles tells me it won't be easy. that you're going to need to have some patience, excuse me. But I'm being told to look these guys up because they have a specific meaning. Let's get Six of Pentacles first. A card of financial harmony, generosity, and sharing. You may be either the one giving or the one graciously receiving. Either way, it is a relationship built on good faith. Remember, however, the importance of being able to take care of yourself. So maybe this Nine of Swords is you're actually not believing that you're worthy of self-care that would get you out of this. Yeah, Queen of Wands, that's a very feminine energy to be like not stuck in, but it's difficult to grapple with how much should I do for myself when I want to do so much for others. Being your best person is always going to help other people being their best person. So if you can't be that best person all the time, that's okay. Like, that best is like your own bar. It's really just important to be the best you can be, and always just keep trying. Maybe I get the feeling like you beat yourself up a lot about, because you have this perfect vision for like the world and everything it could be, and because of that you hold yourself to a really high standard, pile 2. Now, because of that high standard, you're able to succeed to a high degree, but it takes a lot of determination to get past your own mind traps. I think I have this as well. Like, one of my life traps is like unrealistic expectations or something along those lines, like self-expectations, though. It's very interesting. You should look at your life traps, pile 2. There's like tests online. It's very enlightening. This Knight of Cups, I think that would be me giving you this message that it's time to tap more into your emotional side. Interesting, I got this in the previous pile as well, a similar message that like this is the actualized, these 3 cards especially is the actualized version of pile 1. So if you want to go back and read pile 1, maybe you're still in that energy. There was like some strength, and then we had, interestingly, we had the High Priestess, who comes before the Empress in terms of like mental evolution and self-actualization. So that reading might help you out a little more if this one isn't resonating so much with you. But for now, I think that's all I have for you guys, pile 2. Pile 1 there was a lot more to say. So maybe that's why my voice is a little tired. But anyway, go tune in with that one if you're feeling drawn to it. If not, I wish you guys the best, and I will see you in the next reading. All right, ciao. All right, and for pile 3, we have Arianrhod. Still hard to say it. It doesn't get better. And this is the one with the extra card. So we'll lay these like this. Oh my goodness. Okay. So you got some stuff going on, huh? Okay. Okay. Ooh. Someone is at a crossroads. This is Allah for morality. I'll leave that up for a second since it's not as visible. Okay. Okay. Interesting start here. I feel like this is tied in with the collective, like, very deeply. There's a 6 of Wands to start, which is sort of the victory and marriage card, but it's combined with a 5 of Swords up top. So I'm getting the feeling that, like, I got this in other readings for today, but that this Six of Wands and this Five of Swords, this is actually two different parts of like the same. So I'm seeing all this up here and then all this down here as two separate things. What do we have here again with fertility? Okay, interesting. Interesting. So here again, someone walked away from this. Like whether this was a choice or whether it was just like someone was being mean or nasty, like in a fight or something, and it's like, oh my god, I never knew you would treat me that way or whatever, and then you guys break up. But there's still like a connection, excuse me, there's still a connection between you guys with this Six of Wands that I'm feeling. But individually, you're both going to grow a lot. With this Ace of Pentacles and Chariot, I feel like you both get a lot of joy from just living your lives. Like Ace of Pentacles, I'm getting this very solo, like mastering the worldly. And I got that, again, all these readings are tied together today. It's great. I love this. All these readings are tied together today. The words tippingly off the tongue. So anyway, the Chariot, the Ace of Pentacles and Hathor here, I'm getting the feeling that like you guys both really enjoy living your own lives, and that's kind of why this Five of Swords happened, is because you're both very strong individuals. Now, one of you is at this crossroads in terms of morality. I'm actually getting the feeling that she's more ruling over this reading than fertility. I think the fertility really that we're seeing here is just fertility and understanding and thought. It's more of a spiritual wealth. I know, it sounds like a cop-out, but it's really not. Queen Goddess of Morality, fertility also. Death and cycles. Allah is here to push you to align with your integrity. If you're in the right, she'll help you find justice. If you're walking the line, she's here as a reminder to do what is right, even if it's not easy. Interesting. So I think High Priestess, Ace of Cups combined here after these. So this is like one chapter and we're here. And then we can get here. This is like a potential future. But I would warn the person who got left not to get too attached to this future or any potential future with this other individual. That's going to screw things up in like bad ways. So don't do it. Live your life, enjoy your life, make like still just tap into this Hathor joyous feeling. I get the feeling that this High Priestess and this Ace of Cups is like one of you very skilled, in touch with the goddesses. Okay, also it's interesting. This is, so the tarot deck is called Anima Mundi, which means the world soul, and then we also have the goddesses. So I feel like one of you is very like esoteric and odd, like unusual. You're the weird one. You're also the smart one, but you're the weird one in a lot of ways. And this person that you're partnered with or want to be partnered with, you have a very deep love for them, but they walked away because they wanted to do things on their own, but they still, you see how Five of Swords, that face is kind of gloaty. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like that face. So I think Allah is with them. And Arianrhod is actually with this lower, the High Priestess says, my fellow High Priestesses. So this is like a connection or an ability to choose, also because this is card 2. And we've got Allah here. So anyway, they made this choice to leave, and so now they're really pondering it deeply. she has more to say. What is Allah also that I'm missing? Death and cycles. So yeah, the reason why you who were left, or you who left yourself, do what makes you happiest, even if that's not being with the other person, because if you just stay unhappy, nothing's going to work, for one. But also, if you stay and tap into your joy and this Ace of Pentacles, so the Chariot also, Chariot is about like living your life in a more magical way and allowing that to bloom out. I'm seeing maybe this Five of Swords, you guys like had a really good connection, but it kind of went south, and that's because of like a weird or odd, unusual, codependent feeling that developed. But you've kind of grown past it. It was kind of a mirror thing that was going on between the two of you. Now that you're more independent and both living your lives, where only you were before in the Chariot energy, I'm speaking you as the High Priestesses, because I empathize with you guys more. The Chariot, now you're both living your life in this magically driven way. So I think Allah is here showing us that this is where the choice lies. I'm getting big Four of Cups energy from this, actually, where there's 3 cups spilled on the hill, and then Spirit is extending the one, okay? Remember, if you're in this pile, remember that it is their choice to choose this cup. And it can be really difficult to respect a decision that has such power over you that you have no power over. You'll want to change this if it doesn't go the way that you had hoped or planned. So that's why I'm urging you to remain unattached. However, so if this person decides to get back with you, yeah, this is like obviously about love. If this person decides to get back with you, they're going to have to do a lot of legwork. It's going to feel like they're taking on more than they can chew, like biting off more than they can chew with involving themselves in you, because you're like a really deep, like you have a lot of niches. I don't think you realize it. Like this is very simple, these 5 cards, but you're tapped into like goddesses and esoteric knowledge, the truest love, the highest like inspiration of a future. 10 of Cups is typically the rainbow. I should do it this way, the rainbow. And it means fulfillment of all your desires. Now, I see as well, because twin flames, we have multiple twin flames, so maybe you chose one of your twin flames, to try to be your soulmate, but they still needed to go on this journey. Now, that same twin flame that you met, that you really connect with personally, they have the choice to come back and sort of swallow their pride. This 5 of Swords is giving me like prideful, almost boastful, like haha, maybe like you guys had a thing in the past and you kind of screwed up. You went out on your own, became a better person, come back. Then they want to hurt you because of what you did in the past in some minute way, right? There's still that part of them. I could go very specific about this reading, but I won't. Basically, what I mean is it's going to be their decision to take the cup that's being extended to them by Spirit. They may not want to accept that they have all these deep feelings. They may reject the cup, okay? What I get from these cards is that you're actually able to forgive them no matter what they do here. You're able to forgive them, and forgiving someone else frees you, okay? Pile 3, my fellow High Priestesses. So forgiving them frees you as well from this cycle, from like birth and death and decay. I'm seeing no matter what, you're gonna make a new relationship with someone and it's gonna be successful. And that's what this 10 of Cups is. Like the person you were just with, maybe things aren't quite right, but you have like a deep love in your heart, and you actually have this great capability to just love and be with someone and accept them as who they are when you're truly in that feeling. So no matter what I have as your final message is, no matter if they choose to accept the cup or not, one of your twin flames is going to take the cup, okay? And that's the twin flame that's meant for you. You guys are going to be soulmates. You're going to live in this 10 of Cups energy. For them, it's going to be a difficult thing trying to get to know you or getting to know you, and your like emotionality I'm getting with this Wands energy, maybe even combined with their own. They might have a temperament or something, or difficulty expressing themselves. And so with you being so expressive or open, it's difficult for them to try to match that, but they're going to master it pretty quickly. They don't realize it, but they've had a lot of practice doing it. They just need to apply themselves a little bit more. And this King of Wands, Nine of Wands that I'm getting is like, they'll get it. Like at the end, they're gonna be a little beat up like from the 10 of Wands, but they're gonna understand at the end, and it's all gonna be good. It's gonna be 10 of Cups. So I'm getting huge 3 of Swords vibes. Like, I'm really sorry. You had your heart broken by this, but this is so much freedom. In Hathor, Ace of Pentacles, and the Chariot, this is so much freedom for both of you. And I think you giving them this, in a way, enabled them to see that this is what they need to do. So you've really brought a light into all of these relationships that are going on. So thank you, because that does such work for the collective. But also remember, forgiving others frees yourself, and it'll allow you to get in this 10 of Cups energy. I'm just going to read for the booklet what 10 of Cups is, and then I think I'm going to call it on this reading, unless I have more to say. It is the embodiment of happiness, joy, and a harmonious family environment. It can also signify a deeply satisfying romantic relationship. Outside of interpersonal relationships, you're being true to yourself. I'm seeing that. Ace of Pentacles, Chariot, Hathor. Having established a clear set of personal values, and you're adjusting your life accordingly. Upright, harmony, happiness, celebration, fulfillment, and community. So you're about to be very highly fulfilled. Whether it's with or without this person, this might even be their growth outside of the relationship, that they need to grow more into their King of Wands, where you're actually already actualized in your High Priestess. And babe, you're a key to the deck, okay? They might be like a face card, right? But you're a key, so don't forget that. And that's all I have for you, Pile 3. I really feel for you guys on this reading. I hope to see you all in the next reading. I love you so much. Ciao.